Hello again. I just created a brand new Minecraft hardcore world. This is episode 1 of many more to come in this world, and in this episode, I'm going to be spending 100 days getting as rich as possible in Minecraft hardcore. There's no time for building in this 100 days, no. My goals are to get full enchanted netherite tools and armor, elytra, defeat the ender dragon and the wither, make a full emerald beacon and also a solid diamond throne, because why not? How rich will I get? Well, stick around to find out. And as you're already here, hit that subscribe button. Our goal is 500,000 subscribers this year, and we're almost there already. So, without further ado, I spent 100 days getting stacked in Minecraft hardcore mode, and here's what happened. So here we are. I made a brand new world, but when I spawned in, it was basically an ocean only world, and I've just done that. 200 days coming soon, by the way. So I made a new, much better one with dogs and chickens and delicious berries, and the land was ripe for picking, and it's a good thing too, because I came here for some serious picking. I'm seeing how rich I can get in 100 days, and I didn't come here to take part, no. I came here to take over. This is my land now, and that's a lot of squids. So I kept exploring and searching for two things really, wood and villagers. Not particularly in that order, but as it happens, and not surprisingly, wood came first. And if you're wondering why I need wood and villagers, all will be revealed in good time, my friend, and actually now is a pretty good time, I guess. Basically, I need emeralds to progress at the fastest rate. And who have a ludicrous amount of emeralds that they'll happily trade for a ludicrous amount of sticks? That's right, villagers, hence the wood. So I need to find me a village, and this took a lot longer than I would have liked or expected. Now you should note this is a random world, and I have set myself a rule: no automatic emerald farms. Why? Because that would be super boring. I'd just make an emerald farm and then I'd sit there AFKing for the rest of the 100 days, and that's not very good content. So anyway, on day 3 I finally did find a village, and it was time to prey on some unsuspecting villagers. I began by, well, stealing everything. Even their food. You ever seen a villager eating? Nope, I didn't think so. So I'll be taking this. I made my first trade by selling him things that I stole from him, because that makes sense. And then I took out their guard. I went to check out the librarian trades, and he already had mending by default, but unfortunately, I'm not interested in mending yet, no. My first goal is protection enchanted armor, since I'm in hardcore, and that's a pretty good way of not dying. Day 4, I placed down some fletching tables and began trading all of the wood I'd collected on the way over to the Fletchers. Then I chopped down some more wood and made a sapling farm, and by the end of the day, I already had almost a stack of emeralds. The next day I did the same thing, but I also made a pit for my villagers, and they actually voluntarily went in the pit, which was a big mistake. Very big. Day 6 and 7 I worked on the villagers' new pit, because technically they are still called villagers since they have a village, they're just not living in it anymore. They're living in a prison, which makes them prisoners I suppose, so no, scratch that, they're not villagers anymore, they're prisoners. Day 8 I continued trading and planting and feeding, and then I made a lectern and tried getting a good book from one of them, which took most of day 9. But eventually, I got Fortune 2, which isn't the best, but I can combine these to make a Fortune 3 with an anvil. So I went out searching for iron, which almost cost me my life. But unfortunately for the villagers, prisoners, I made it out alive and made my anvil. And now I have a Fortune 3 pick. So I spent days 10 and 11 mining for diamonds on my belly. That's right, my belly. It's the fastest way to mine when you've still got an iron pick, and it led me to a cave where I found my first set of diamonds. And with Fortune 3, I got 12 from my first batch, creepers blew up a part of my second batch, but then I found some more, and some more, and some more. When I resurfaced, it looked like the golems had a hell of a night, so I patched them up, then made a full set of diamond armor. Day 12 and 13 I spent making some new lecterns and got a trade for protection 4, which is exactly what I needed. So I bought one and put it on my chest plate, did some more chopping and trading, and saved up to put one on my leggings too. I spent the rest of the day trading and made a diamond pick to get some obsidian, because I need to go to the... nether, so that's what I did. I went and collected some food and headed in, and got super lucky with my spawn. I could literally see the fortress, and that's with this shader on, which makes things 10 times harder to see. So I made my butter helmet and travelled over to get some rods. I spent the rest of the day carefully collecting them. I was going to need the rods to make some potions to cure the villagers with once I made them sick, so on day 16, I was collecting all the materials I needed to make them. I went to the swamps to collect some mushrooms, but I couldn't find any more than 2, so I headed back to the nether to find some more. I'm glad I have these iron golems always watching my back protecting me, but now I need to do some of the killing, since I need spider's eyes. And while I was out collecting them in the night, I came across a desert temple where I found a whole load of goodies, including 2 golden apples. So now I had all of the materials needed to make the potions, and on day 17, I made a whole batch of them. I expanded the prison to make a breeding chamber and pushed 2 villagers in, ready to make me some more emerald-having, stick-wanting prisoners, but they were going to need some food. And I don't even have food, so I started to work on a farm. I planted pretty much anything I had and started throwing it down the hole, and yeah, it was working. I had my first baby in a boat. So then I started work on what I like to call the time to die, wait no I'm just kidding area, which basically consists of an area for the villagers to relax and enjoy themselves, and then an area where I can trap a zombie, let him in to infect a villager, and then cure it so that he'll think I'm his best mate and give me cheap books. So I went to collect the little guy and brought him into the time to die wait no I'm just kidding, and he somehow managed to get through my incredibly advanced security system, and then he did it again and then grew up in there. So anyways, I rounded up a zombie and punched him in, then I opened the floodgates and let him do his thing. Very badly. I let him do his thing very badly. But he did catch him in the end, and also gave him full gold armor, which was nice of him. But you know what wasn't nice? This creeper blowing up the building. Then I was getting bullied while trying to fix it. But then I cured him, and on day 21, he was back to normal. I wanted to see first what his stick prices were like, but they weren't worth it, so I went book hunting, and on the second try, I got the mending trade. And so I put mending on all of my armor, and then trapped him tidily into the corner. Then I changed the entrance to the top since the villagers were escaping my security system, and then set a new child trap. Yeah, that sounded better in my head. And then carried on with the farm right into days 22 and 23, where I was farming, and in between farming, I was breeding new villagers. I got 2 of them in and got them infected and healed up, and the next day, they were back to normal. Day 24 to 26, I was working on getting some good books from these guys. Eventually I got Efficiency 5 book, so I bought 3 of them and put them by my new set of tools ready to enchant. Then after a very, very, very long time, I got an Unbreaking 2 book from the other villager, which wasn't ideal, but I can always combine them to make an Unbreaking 3, which is what I did. Then I found that my protection guy had somehow escaped. I have no idea how, but I don't have time to think about that right now. Wake up, I need emeralds. The next day I enchanted my axe with Efficiency 5 and Unbreaking 3 and spent the next few days chopping down trees. Many, many trees. I also ran into some familiar faces but didn't really want a raid to start, so I just sort of hit them into a hole and covered it up. Then I upgraded my shovel and started work on a better tree farm, one that didn't grow any of those big annoying trees, you know, the ones that you have to end up burning down because you can't find that 1 block of wood hidden inside the clump of leaves. I put slabs 6 blocks above the saplings, which basically tells the game not to plant anything other than the small trees, and it took a while to build, but it was working. By the way, between all of this stuff, I'm trading with the villagers for emeralds. I just don't want to keep showing that because it's boring, but trust me, I'm trading with the villagers a lot. Then I did some enchants on my pick, and now she's much faster. Day 30 I made a small farm, and while out on the search for some more animals, I ran into a wandering trader. He didn't have anything that I wanted, but I'll take those leads for sure. I could do with some leads. My new favourite activity is waking the villagers up in the middle of the night to trade. It'd be better if they got confused and gave me the emeralds for free out of pure sleep deprivation, but Minecraft doesn't work like that. Day 31 I was back in the nether looking for ender pearls because I need books and to slay an ender dragon. But mainly books right now. I couldn't find any in the nether, so I tried my luck in the middle of the night and found a few, but none of them dropped eyes. Bit selfish really. Day 32 I healed up that villager that escaped earlier and got him out of the cave and back into society, if you can call it that. I upgraded my pickaxe with Fortune 3 and then went out once again on the search for some ender boys. Didn't find any, did find some gold though. Day 34 I travelled far away to place a portal so that I could spawn somewhere further away in the nether, since my spawn is very hard to explore and I'm not finding any endermen there. So I came across a village and then put it there, but when I went back in and did some exploring, I found my old portal about 100 blocks away. I guess I'm going to have to do this the hard way, huh? But anyway, it worked, and I was finally finding more endermen, and it didn't take long before I had enough to make all of the eye of enders I was going to need. So I set out to find the end fortress, which led me to an ocean, which I was not happy about. I thought I was going to have to search for it in there, but luckily, it was just behind. So, I didn't waste any time, I jumped right in, and cancelled her life subscription. Why does that always happen to me? Anyway, I went straight to the end city to get some Elytra wings, and as expected, it took a really long time to find one that actually had a boat in, but I did. I broke my way in and took them. And forgot the dragon head. Ugh, how could you forget the dragon head? There was a nearby portal, which was very convenient. So I jumped in and completed the game. Not. I still have loads to do. It's only day 37. And also I forgot the books, which was the main reason I went to the fortress. So I went back via the sky and collected all the books and all of the loot, and then dipped. Day 38, I put protection on my helmet and my boots, and then unbreaking on all of them, and as many tools as I could afford, but eventually I ran out of XP. But I have got some decent armor now. I spent the rest of the day chopping and trading. The only thing holding me back now is limited XP, so I set out gathering all the materials to make the best XP farm in the game without question. The only problem was that I needed a name tag as one of the materials, and I didn't have one of those, so I thought, might as well go mining for a while and see if I can find one. My hopes were low, but I did actually find one. I couldn't believe it. This game has never been this nice to me, ever. It even gave me 2. I put mending on my shovel and carried on collecting materials, but then I realised it would be a lot easier to collect them into a shulker box, so I made a quick trip to the end and got one. And I didn't see this before, but I actually had a tower right next to my spawn. When I got back on day 41, I made 2 and continued gathering the resources needed. I made a name tag called Dave, and just in case that one failed, I made Dave 2. I always keep a backup. I collected everything I needed, slapped a mending on my Elytra, healed it up a little bit, and then headed out to build it. And if you want the tutorial for this build, I'll leave a link in the description. So I spent days 43 and 44 building the farm. This was the most annoying bit, getting this endermite called Dave into the minecart. It sucked. And as you can see, it works. It like really works, like better than any XP farm ever has or ever will. It's completely overpowered in every way. And it's not even funny how fast you can get levels using it. So then days 45 to 60, I spent pretty much going ham on enchantments. I went back to get an enchantment table, and that's when I learned, and I'm proud to say this, that you don't even really need fireworks to use Elytra. If you just time your jumps right, you can still get places really fast. I have found the new meta. So yeah, days 45 to 60 were spent enchanting books and tools, like a lot of books. I had to stop for a while to collect some more iron because I was going through anvils so fast. I don't even want to know how many I went through. I found some more diamonds while I was there, got blown up by a creeper while I was sleeping. I should probably build a house at some point in this world, and then got back to enchanting. I don't even want to use fireworks anymore. This is way more fun. Now, I could go into detail on all the things that I did during this period, but I would literally be here for hours. I did so much enchanting that I don't even have enough time to properly explain what I did. I kept making a sword that was too expensive to finish off and learned the hard way that you can only enchant a tool so many times before it doesn't let you anymore. I think I started from scratch about 3 times, killed 15,000 endermen, and then ended up coming back to my villagers for the last few enchantments I needed on my sword, which was looting 3 and mending. I finally got the books and made the sword, and, well, all it needs now is netherite. I went back to slay some more endermen with my special enderman slaying sword and worked on a new bow. Also, I have to do this every few minutes or so. I just have to throw all of the ender pearls into the void. There are so many, and it lags out my game. So then I made 3 more efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, and mending pickaxes. And on day 61, I started mining for ancient debris. And I know there are many methods to mining ancient debris, like using beds and stuff, but I just prefer the old school straight mining method. But I was willing to try out a method I haven't used before, which is TNT. So I cleared a big area to build a gunpowder farm, and if you want this build tutorial, it'll be in the description too. I needed some cats, so I went to a nearby village, caught some, forced them to eat fish until they loved me, and then brought them back. I tried flying them back, but that didn't work, so I had to do it the long way. Then I finished off the bottom part and made another layer on top for twice the amount of creepers. On day 69, I went super high to make an AFK spot, and when I came back down, it was working pretty amazingly, so I spent the rest of the day AFKing, and the next day, there was 80 gunpowder in the chest, which I thought was good, until I realised that that only makes 16 TNT. I was going to need a lot more than 16 TNT to make it worthwhile. So I went back to the old school way of doing it, since in the short term it's more profitable, but no doubt in the long run something like TNT or beds would be much more efficient. I just don't have that kind of time to waste right now, and I was doing pretty well doing it like this. I was absolutely destroying my pickaxes and the nearby pigs, but I was doing pretty well. I accidentally broke one here. I flew too close to the sun and I paid for it. Now I only have 3 pickaxes left, like a poor person. Day 75, I was fixing all of my pickaxes for all of 4 minutes. And day 76, I used the netherite on my armor, and now I'm covered in debris. So I carried on mining for it from days 77 to 80. I put some on my pickaxe, mined some more, accidentally hit some pigmen, mined some more, smelted it up, and put netherite on all of my tools, and I still had one to spare. So then I went off to fix all of my picks, and on day 81, I went searching for some bigger trees. First I went to the trader, but he only had jungle saplings, and they have very low sapling drop rates, so instead I went searching for a dark oak forest. I searched high and low, and found some pretty awesome places. Eventually I found one, and spent the next 2 days chopping down a good chunk of the forest, but don't worry, it's for a good cause. Wealth. So day 83 I converted all of the wood into sticks and sold them to the villagers while expanding their prison, feeding them to make more, and then turning them all into fletchers. These guys love sticks, they love sticks more than anything. Then on day 85 I realised that there's a dark oak forest literally 15 seconds from my house. So I spent days 85 to 89 straight chopping, just chopping and selling. I was chopping in the nights, selling in the days. I saved up enough to make a full emerald beacon and then headed to the nether to collect some wither skeleton heads. So days 90 to 93 I was doing just that. I thought I'd try something by placing slabs all over my fortress since I had a ton of sandstone blocks in an attempt to focus the spawning of the wither skeletons into one place rather than the entire fortress, and it kind of worked, but like not well enough. So I went on the search for a bigger fortress and found a whole load of gold on the way that was just sitting there unguarded, so I took that. I took that. Then I found another fortress, spent a few days getting the heads. Then I headed back and made a load of golden apples, forgot to get the soul sand as usual, then looked for a place to wreak havoc, and yeah, this seemed like a good place as any. I returned to my villagers and told them all about how awesome I am for killing that wither. Then I built up the base, made the beacon, and on day 95, it was done. I put haste 2 on it and could insta-mine stone. So I thought, hey, maybe I can insta-chop wood too. And this would mean that I could get even richer, even faster. So I went to the woods to set it up, but it didn't work. I mean, it was fast, but it wasn't insta-chopping. Looked damn good though. Anyway, I took it down, and then days 96 to 99 I put the beacon down underground and started mining for diamonds. I call this the Giga Drill method. It's very simple. You just mine everything in sight as fast as you can and see how many diamonds you can get. I spent 4 days and nights straight doing this and mined out a huge area, and I do think it's the best way to get diamonds, especially if you combine it with strip mining, but I was just going crazy mining everything. Then I wanted to see how many I could get in 30 minutes, so I started and found 13 diamonds, but then I realised that I was mining them with a pick that doesn't have Fortune 3 on it, and I died inside a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. You do wear out your picks a lot faster, but that's why you need a completely overpowered and game-breaking XP farm. When I got back, I restarted the 30 minutes and got mining. I even found a spawner, but 30 minutes later my alarm went off and I'd mined a total of 107 diamonds, and I wasn't even that lucky with finding them, so I definitely think it's the best method. I then turned them all into diamond blocks, and on day 100 I took down the beacon, destroyed a bit of the prisoner's village and put it there instead, and then built my solid diamond throne to watch my people on. You've done me proud, guys. You've done your lord proud. Anyways, that was episode 1 of this new hardcore series. If you have any ideas for what you want to see, leave a comment down below. Remember to smash like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.